Hello, and you're very welcome to the Game Pit Essen 2019 haul video. What's a haul video? Well, we've just come back from the Spiel fair in Essen for 2019, and the games that we posted back to ourselves have just turned up in the post, and I thought people might be excited to share in what's just turned up in the post, because I can't actually remember what's in all these boxes. You'll know we got Maracaibo because I've already done a video for this. So that's the first one I can pull out for you. This is going to be an unusual video in that I'll be shuffling around, moving boxes around. You'll hear loads of noise, but hopefully, yeah, I don't know, maybe it'll be some fun. Watch it if you like. I'd like to know also that we've purchased some of these games. Some of them were bought with very kind publisher support, with discounts. Some of them were review copies. Sean and I would never be able to afford all of these games and to cover them all ourselves. So thank you to publishers for their support. I hope you know after doing this for this long that just because we've got a review copy doesn't mean we won't tell the truth about it. Okay, Maracaibo. This wasn't a review copy, but it's Alexander Pfister. Played it once already. Caribbean, going around the place. Very thinky combo tableau builder. I think it was number one in most buzz lists after the fair. And for first play, it was pretty much living up to that billing. Okay, next one was... Okay, this is La Stanza. This is from Quined, and it is a medium weight to heavier Euro. Sean was most excited about this one. Looks like we're competing for prestige in the Renaissance. You need money, but you're trying to basically influence people in society and get more prestige. So it's very Euro-y, and Sean has absolutely told me I need to get the video done on that quickly because he wants to start playing it. Okay, what else have we got? Next one out of the box is Mythscape, Maria Perez. This is from GDM. We talked about it on one of our treasure hunts. It's a one versus many game in which invaders are marching along to try and get to the castle, and the other players are playing in a team to try and prevent them coming in by playing card play. That's about as much as I know about it. So we're going to have to dive into Mythscape to find out some more. Let me push those three out of the way. And we'll move on to, again, if you've been watching the channel, you've seen this one already. This is Aquatica. It's where you're in control. It's from Cosmodrome Games. It's when you're in control of a underwater city, and you just play one card in your turn, but you can really boost it up by having locations as a clever location mechanism, whereby a location has a currently available power or boost, and when you use it, it pushes up, but you don't score for your locations until you push them all the way up, and they have dead areas, and you have to use powers to do it. So this, again, wasn't a review copy. We both bought a copy of this because we were excited, and I saw this on buzz lists as well, and I've already done a video because I was excited and that happens. Okay, must be the Sean portion of this. This Sean, again, was very excited about. It's the new Discoveries expansion for Underwater Cities from Vladimir Sushi. Again, Sean arranged this one. I'm not too sure what it adds. Let's have a look. I have played Underwater Cities, obviously. A museum of underwater artifacts. New cards, obviously. Different assistants to help you out. Layered and extra player boards. So they're nicer than the mats they had originally. You can actually put all your cities in and your additional buildings. That does look very nice. I might have to nick Underwater Cities from him again and give it a play. Okay, what comes up next? Agizia, Shifting Sands. It's the new version of Agizia. It's come back from Stronghold Games. They've changed the artwork. I don't know how much they've done to the gameplay. The gameplay was pretty good as it was. You move along and you're going along the Nile taking actions. You can never go backwards. You're looking to build up monuments, what have you. They've definitely made it more colourful and maybe getting a whole new audience for that. Okay, get these guys out of the way. And the next one we've got is, I've just finished a video for this one. So obviously some of these didn't just turn up on the post, they're in our suitcases and what have you. This is Marco Polo 2. And I did say I tweeted from the halls, this looked very similar to Marco Polo in terms of the map and what have you. And it is very similar, having just learned it and done the video. But there are differences. There are guilds you can join. To get contracts, you actually have to be in a city now in order to get the contract. And getting in different types of cities will give you different type of scoring. The way you get goods is different. These city cards that go out in cities and give you powers, there are a couple of them available each turn. But it's still the same. Roll dice, place them over 5 rounds, collect goods, do contracts, and traveling around. Very early impression, it's not quite as tight as its big brother. Seems like it was a little bit easier to get stuff done. Okay, that is a bag full of stuff. And Ken is from Matago. It's a two-player, almost kind of an abstract game where you're trying to push stones along in order to build monuments on each other's side off the board. And that's about as much as I know off it. But certainly me and Rachel will be trying it out, the two-player game. Quite excited to try Ken. And okay, a twist on the classic is Axio Rota, Rhino Knizia. Axio's been out for a long time. This is a new version of it. It's tile laying where you're trying to make patterns and score points for. It kind of looks like I'm trying to remember the name of his game, that pattern making one where you put them all together in chains, and I've forgotten it. Is it Ingenious? Yeah, it looks like Ingenious. It's got similar symbols, hasn't it? Let me push some boxes out of the way so I can start making some more room here, because we've got a few games to look at. Okay, Axio Rota. Okay, next one up is Masters of Renaissance. It is the card game version of Lorenzo Il Magnifico, and it certainly does have some similarities to it. Having played it yesterday, it's got this, you can do one of three things in your turn. You can take goods by this marble mechanism where you take everything from one row, one column, plus the extra one, and you push it in, it changes the rows and columns. But where you store them is very limited. So you need to use those goods to purchase cards and then push the goods through the cards where they go into your unlimited storage. There's a face track across the top you can push along, and when people aren't as far along as you are, they're not going to score as many points. So it was all a lot to do with tightness. You can have 3 buildings valid at once. You have to build a 1 before you get to a 2. Space to have your resources. If you try and take too many resources, other players get faith points. It was very interesting. Just one game though. We're going to have to give it more goes, but not a bad start at all. Okay. This is Porto from Meebo Games. This was getting some buzz and a lot of interest. I was talking to those guys. I think it's like you're collecting sets of cards, and via the sets of cards you're looking to build up these colourful different houses in order to score points. And quite honestly, it's about as much as I know that you need sets of cards to build up the floors, and that's how you're going to score your points. I think it's maybe like, yeah, a 15-minute game, so for 8 up. Maybe not the heaviest of games, but it was, people were having fun playing it. I did see them and talk to a couple of people. The Isle of Pan is a beautiful looking game from, I know it came from the Blackrock Village. I can't see the publisher written on here. Lumberjack Studio, maybe? I tell you what, they haven't done themselves any favour with that box, because looking at that, it doesn't look as gorgeous as it looked on the table. And really, I know very, very little about it, other than it looked nice and they wanted us to cover it, and we said, yeah, sure, cool. Sean was the person who talked to Blackrock, but they sold it to him, so by all means. Okay, this one I do know a bit more. We did a preview of this. This is Throne of Allegoria from Spielworks, Robin Lees and Steve McKenzie. It's the fairly hefty weight Euro game in which you're bidding to take actions and collect cards to boost you up. You have your own area and you go through a central area to get to everyone else. And you can do it with soldiers to attack them, or merchants to make money, or spies to push up your influence, whatever you. And you've got your own town track that you're looking to boost up, and that will provide you with more powers. So that is meaty. Looking forward to getting my teeth into that. I'm going to rejig a couple of things here before we look at the next one, because otherwise these piles will start falling over. Okay. Next up is going to be, there's a big box in there, Farm Rescue from Brain Games. Brain Games do family weight games. This is obviously Sean wanted it for his 2 boys. Mine are a bit older than his. And a wolf has been spotted near the farm. Quick, everyone hide, because the farmer will be back soon. It's a cooperative game for families. You're trying to stop the wolf from getting to the farm. Looks like you're rolling dice and flipping over tiles and trying to keep the wolf away. I mean, Brain Games do quality family games. I'm sure we can have a crack with that. And if you listen to our Treasure Hunt podcast episodes, we talked about Dice War Roots of Mali, which is the latest expansion. Chat to the Suncore Games guys, and got hold of a copy of the original Light of Dragons. It's a 2-player game in which your dice are your units, and when you put them in play, they start as a level 1, but you can move them or attack with them or upgrade them. Depending on what set you get, each number has got different powers to it. And I thought it looked quite interesting actually, what the different levels of the powers do and how they then interact and the different tactics available. But in order to prove that, we had to get hold of a copy, which we did, and now we're going to see a two-player game. There's another two-player game coming up here. This is one that we played in the halls. It's Paris, la Cité de la Lumière. It's like Patchwork on steroids a little bit, in that you're looking to place polyomino tiles near to lampposts which are already on the board. But before you do that, you're actually the ones who lay down tiles in order to create connected areas of your colour and the other person's colour, and neutral areas and the lampposts. So you're dictating where the polyominoes are going to be placed in the second round. The polyominoes are buildings. There's 2 phases to the round. But there's also special powers. There's 8 special powers you can activate. So you can either put buildings in play, or you can use a special power to mess things around a bit, like that painter is going to score for being in an area. And it could be a huge area that's not blocked off next to lampposts and different things. And we played it in the halls, and it was very good. And that's why we bought it. So looking forward to getting more into that again. But first impression in a hall, who knows how good it's going to be. Another GDM game. This one is Olanga on the Olanga Express. You're delivering goods to villages nearby the Olanga River. Be the player with the most deliveries. You're moving your ships up and down here. It looks like a modular board. Different movement cards. It looks like a pick up and deliver. The reason I was after it is because GDM games, they kind of put twists on different things. So I was quite looking forward to what they would do with a pick up and deliver game. Okay. Get those out of the way. Baron. Again, we did a preview of this one from Catch Up Games. This is the game that's got a resource wheel in the middle, and the wheel turns around and goes to 5 different areas. Those areas are modular in what you can do, and you're always looking to hand resources in to take some sort of action, to go up a track. You're looking to favour the gods on either side of them, would score points at the end of the game. I wasn't sure beforehand, but it got very good reports from people who played it, and that means a lot more than my guessing. So there we go. Pharaon. Next up, it's the spiritual successor to Snowdonia. Alibari, a nice cup of tea from Tony Boydell. I'm told from people who played it in the halls, I haven't played it yet, that it's got quite a similar mechanism to Snowdonia. There's a rondel for what the game will do rather than the cubes. You're looking to build along, but apparently it was different enough that you wouldn't have been able to play it on a Snowdonia board by putting the cards in. It's definitely put a twist on the mechanism. There's also something to do with tea, turn tea into chai, and that can boost up your actions, hence the nice cup of tea and Alibari in that area. So looking forward to trying it. A variation on Snowdonia, which I like a lot. Okay. Paris, New Eden. This is a dice drafter. It's 45 minutes long, again, from Matago. There's been a weird sort of plant-based apocalypse in Europe, and the city's been taken over by vegetation, and you're looking to lead a team of survivors. And to do that, you're looking to draft dice from various areas in the city, and what's on them matters, and where you take them from matters, and there's events each turn. You're looking to build up your buildings here and have workers and goods in those buildings in order to prepare yourself. And when you do the events, you don't get hit by bad things. It's just that if you've successfully done them, you score points, and you have to feed everyone, and if you do feed everyone, you score points again. And it's quite a quick play out, and I thought it was an interesting theme, and I like a dice drafting game. So yeah, I went for Paris, New Eden. Okay, I'm messing up the cloth here. There's too many games on this table. Okay, what's next? Well, people are going to recognise that. Terraforming Mars Turmoil adds some kind of conflict mechanism to Terraforming Mars. No idea what it is yet, but certainly we played it just the other day again. Terraforming Mars, great game. I think you need to find your own way to play with all different expansions, but this adds, who knows? We'll have to open up and find out, but we'll do a video soon for sure. Okay, let's get out of the way because there's a big game coming now. It's King's Dilemma from, used to be Horrible Games, now Horrible Guild. This has got a lot of chat coming out of the pre-games people had at Gen Con and going forward. Who's it from? Lorenzo Silva and Hjalmar Hack. It's mostly a negotiation game. Yeah, I think a couple of these games got bashed in transit. There's a couple of whacks on the side of the boxes. But anyway, in which things are going to happen in the kingdom. I think mechanically then it's not like there's not loads of things going on, but every decision you make has repercussions going forward. and consequences, and so you'll be creating your own story for the kingdom. I don't think you destroy anything when you go through this. Are there stickers? And I don't know how replayable it is, whether those stickers come off or what have you. Wouldn't have to find out. I know they gave me a sort of demo scenario that you can start off and learn with that, so you don't go straight into the full game. But this has got fantastic buzz coming out about it, so I'm very excited to try King's Dilemma, even if it's got bashed around a little bit. Right, where are we to next? Terramara, another Quined game from these four guys, Minia Gilli, Minia Brasini, Stefano Luperto, and Antonio Tinto. They've got a name for their design group together nowadays. I think I can't remember what it is. It's a long Italian word. This is the game in which you place workers out into worker spaces. There are different areas. You can put them into the future to get workers, or to get actions rather. But they won't come back to you if they're in the future until you get to the end of that particular round. And you're moving a caravan along a track and a canoe along a river. You've got military strength. You can only go in with someone in a work placement area if you're stronger in military. Lots going on. You're looking to do it all to buy these artifact cards to build up your powers over the course of the time and lead your, I think it's 1500 BC tribe in northern Italy to goodness. Okay, Terramara. Okay, we picked up this because everyone's saying what a great thriller it is. Point Salad, it's the set collection game where you set your own scoring rules basically, and then you draft both by taking things and then by drafting. I think when you draft from down here, you flip the point setting over to become a vegetable, but when you take your own point setting things, you score extra for tomatoes, but they've got minuses and pluses on there. And everyone's gone about how great it is, so we had to pick up a copy of that. Right, these guys had a very striking booth in Hall 2, Rebel Games, and this was what the booth was all about. Zona, the Secret of Chernobyl. Thematically, very much like, if you remember Stalker, was it Stalker Shadows of Chernobyl, the old PC shooter game? In that you're post-apocalyptic in the Chernobyl area, the old Pripyat wheel there, and there's anomalies and there's strange people that you can trade with, and you're trying to build up and go through an adventure. It looked to me a bit like a different thematic Eldritch Horror. It just looked really cool, and there were 3 copies left when I walked past the booth on Thursday, and I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to have to get that. So I did, and we'll see how it goes. That could be great, maybe not. I think great. I'm going with great. I've got faith. There we go. Next up is, okay, Eco's First Continent, another one that's got a lot of buzz coming out off the show. The AEG game, John DeClaire, it's a name most people know, in which you're using different elements to complete your cards and create the content. You're creating it as you go along. Yeah, you're looking to mold the planet. 2 to 6 players. It's simultaneous play, so I think it goes quite quickly for what it is, and there's a bit of meat to it. So excited to try out Eco's First Continent. Fire, Fable game from Freedom and Freeze. And that's really all I need to know about it, to be honest with you, in order to be interested in giving it a go. It's just for 1 to 2 players, I think maybe just mostly 1 player. And it's themed around playing an arcade game. I really liked Finished that came out last year that was similar to this. Or maybe it was in the same line. I thought it was quite underappreciated. I thought it was a very clever card game that you're trying to achieve goals in. So that's why I wanted to have a look at Fire. Okay. Mastabas, the last one from GDM we've got. You go into a maze, you create the maze by putting down the cards, and you're looking to get the treasure by moving around it. And obviously you can manipulate where people can go and make dead ends and stuff to stop them from doing things and get them back into danger. Again, another quick, clever looking little card game that we'll have a look at from Felix Bernat. Okay, here's a big heavy one from Board and Dice. Tris Magistus, the ultimate formula. This has got to be about the heaviest dice drafter I could think of. You're drafting dice from the middle. There's 5 different things to think about when you draft the dice. You put them on your board. You can transmute them to different things. You get different elements. You get mastery and tracks. You're looking to put together your own formula and be the best alchemist. A lot of thinkiness in there. Daniele Tascini and Federico Pierlorenzini. Really something to chew on, I think, and give yourself a bit of a headache. Looking forward to Trismegistus. This is another game La Cour de Miracle. Vincent Briard and Guillaume Gautron, that on the table looked absolutely incredible, and caught a right 2 to 5 player 40-minute game. You're in the Guild of Thieves and Beggars, looking to be the king of the beggars. But the current king of the beggars is watching you and will looking to bring you down. So your opponents are supposed to be very interactive with trying to prevent each other from doing this. About as much as I know. I can see the card play in there. There's a map of the city, but it really looks fantastic on the table. And you know, when you're at Essen, you see shiny things, you think, oh, I need to have a look at that. So we did. And another one from Brain Games. This is Snowman Dice, where you're looking to make snowmen out of your dice. And then you've got to move them into the centre. But when you try and move them into the centre, I think other people can flick their dice at you to try and knock your snowman over or something like that. Something very silly. So there's the dice that you make the snowman out of. So another Feel Like Kiddies game that we're looking to give a run through too. Let's have a look at... Oh, I got this. Circle the Wagons from Quinard. I think it's a reprint. I'm sure it came out before from another company in English. But anyway, it's the Wild West. And it's a 2-player game. We're basically looking to just be the best sort of homesteaders, if you like, going through the West, which is something I've been reading about recently, so I thought I'd grab hold of that game. Okay. Last Bastion from Repos. It's Anton Browser. It's the reworking of Ghost Stories. It's been rethemed, but they absolutely assure me it's not just a retheme, and with nice miniatures and what have you, that they've done very different things to it and it will play very differently. They certainly made it look different. I love Ghost Stories. Interested, based on the mechanics of the game Ghost Stories, but different. We will see. But yeah, very much looking forward to trying Last Bastion. If they can do a twist on Ghost Stories that works, that will be a fantastic game. Okay, Aftershock, San Francisco and Venice from Strongholds, the Alan R. Moon game, in which has been the earthquake and you're trying to do a rebuilding, and there's two sides to it, San Francisco or Venice. And you're looking to control the areas during your rebuild, I think. And there'll be aftershocks, and there'll be tremors, and that will knock things down that have been built. So you're trying to some way predicting where those will come. Lot talked about, kickstarted, really wanted to have it go and just see what it was all about. A 60-minute 3 to 5 player game. Right. What do we have left? Lots of bits and bobs and cards and extras that have fallen to the bottom of some of these. Let's go with Hoarders. This is from Flatline Games. Christine Deschamps. No, that's the artist, and Maeva de Silva. Why not mention them? Andy Niggles, apparently. So you choose your 2 critters, collect 5 identical nuts, become king of the forest. There's an English rulebook included. Okay, great. No idea, but we'll have some fun with it. We'll see what happens. The second Escape Tales game, again from Board and Dice, Low Memory. The first one was sort of the occulty one where your daughter was in a coma and you're trying to get her out of it. It's going to be another one where, yeah, it takes 3 times 3 hours. It took about 6 hours to do the first one. It wasn't an escape room game that was an hour and done. There was a lot to it. There were decent puzzles. I loved the first one. It's in my top 10 for 2018. So obviously, I had to get the second one. This is an interesting game we talked about again in our previews. Carousel from Mebo Games, from Antonio Souza Lara. And we got a game of this in the halls, and it was interesting. It needs more plays to work out because everyone played really badly. But you're looking to make patterns of tiles. And when you make patterns of tiles, it attracts these customers. There are certain patterns of customers that want to go on. And when they go in, it's the player who laid the tiles that's going to get the points. Not the person who they're in front of, because this wheel spins around constantly. And on your turn, you choose a sector and a tile to put down in that sector. And it might go around the board. It might be over here that actually scores for you. So you're trying to see what other people have got and predict what's going to score in the future. And you can take the customers off and put them on. And it was interesting. It played very quickly as well. So definitely a bit different. Now, there's only one game left in here in these boxes. There is another box of games gone up to Sean's. So don't know if we're ever going to see that again. I'm sure we will. But this is quite big. I had to drag it through the halls for quite a long time. Is, I hope, from AEG. we open this up, it's the Edge of Darkness card crafting game from John Declare. I did not know it was going to be this big. I'll tell you that much. And trying to drag it through after this bag broke was certainly experience in the halls. There we go. It's Mystic Veil all grown up. It's got that card crafting thing, but there's more to it. You sort of work a placement, and there's a threat thing, there's this tower that you drop things into, and you're all in this city, and the baddies are coming in, and you represent the guilds. You're not actually directly doing stuff, you're trying to be influential in the city. There's a lot in here, a lot to go through and play, but then that was a lot of games, and we've got a lot of games to play and review for you. So you will be seeing overview videos for all of these games in the next few weeks on this channel. You will be getting reviews of them on the podcast, as many as we can possibly get done. And again, like I said, Sean's got a couple more going up to his place as well, but we're looking to cover them all, and we hope you join us for all of our upcoming Essen 2019 coverage. So thank you very much for watching. Again, thank you to all publishers who supported us, and I hope you've enjoyed having a look at our Essen 2019 haul. Thanks.